that Donald Trump is a professional debater, but I think Kamala knows how to get things done. I come out of small business. I started up a telecommunications company. I love the fact that she wants to be a champion for small business. More new business startups than ever before. Making it easier to start up a small business. Making it easier to get that first loan. Make it easier for you to get a child in daycare. Clear away some of that red tape. If she can show she's a champion for small business, she's a champion for all of us.
Well, of course, small businesses, as we've seen in the last several years, Governor, have felt inflation pretty severely, both in terms of goods, of people that they need to hire. Are you concerned that some of these policies that Harris is outlining that are intended to support small business could actually be inflationary, add to the deficit, and actually ultimately have a negative economic effect?
No, I think Biden-Harris has been pretty good at bringing down inflation. Obviously, we had a big spike coming out of COVID. What I worry about is Donald Trump and tariffs anywhere from 10 to 100%. Let me tell you what that would do to inflation. Let me tell you, that would be the biggest middle-class tax increase we've seen in many a year.
Well, okay. And Kamala Harris has some blanks to fill in when it comes to her economic proposals. There are a lot of questions, for instance, about what her energy policy would be. We know that she no longer wants to see a ban on fracking, but Donald Trump says he wants to unlock American energy, that drill baby drill will be the centerpiece of his fight against inflation. Will Kamala Harris, for instance, bring an end to the moratorium on LNG exports? Can she make some news there tomorrow that might bring some sunlight between herself and Joe Biden?
Well, I don't want to get ahead of what the vice president's going to say tomorrow. I can tell you, under Biden-Harris, there's been more new energy production, and that we are producing more energy than ever before. And I think they're doing it cautiously. They're trying to preserve our open spaces as best as we can. I come from a state, Connecticut, where we got to bring in more energy resources to bring down the price of electricity. So I very much look forward to working with President Harris on that.
Well, Governor, I'm sure you've seen the new New York Times Siena poll that finds Trump 1 point ahead of her nationally within the margin of error, but it also finds that 47% of those surveyed likely voters view Vice President Harris as too liberal. How can she correct that thinking?
Look, it's going to be a dead heat, this race, so that's why every vote matters so much. Look, I think they will try and portray her as very liberal. He'll come back and say, I was a tough prosecutor. I put criminals behind bars. I'm a champion for small business. Donald Trump is a champion for big business and crony capitalism. I think she'll have to stay on offense to say she believes in the same American dream you do.
Governor, I grew up in a small town in northeast Connecticut that was a big manufacturing hub in the olden days. All of the factories there closed when I was growing up, and they all became antique stores. What will Kamala Harris do to bring manufacturing back to America?
What town was that? We got to do better. I will tell you, Joe, that we have more manufacturing going on in this state than we have in a generation. A lot of that is defense related. A lot of that is new startups. Manufacturing is onshoring over the last 5 years. As it becomes more capital intensive, the quality of your workforce able to work with this computerized equipment is very important. And I think that's why you see manufacturing a big piece of our state in the future.